So today I'm going to start a wood project. Nothing too fancy, but as I'm trying to get the garage just a little bit more organized, I realized that we have 6 fishing poles, and we're always going to end up getting more, and so basically today what I want to do is make a fishing pole holder, and I'll go ahead and show you what our little setup is now, and it's just kind of a mess. And it's not that it's a bad thing, it's just I know that I can make something to make it work a lot better, be a little bit more organized, and just give me something to do. So this is kind of what we got going on. The fishing poles there just kind of rides up, and again, it's not that big of a deal, but I had to basically use a bungee to kind of hold it in place. And yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of tacky, I mean, when you pull them out, I mean, they tend to kind of get caught up on each other, or they have the potential to, and so I just need to do something. So basically with that, taking a look at that, basically it's just a mess. As I said, it's not too bad, but it's just not what I want it to be. So what I plan on doing is making a lower bracket for all the poles to sit in, and then an upper bracket to kind of hold the top portion of the rod, just kind of hold them in place. So this is where I want to put everything. This is where I want the fishing rods to go, right in between the two brackets there, or the two pieces of framing there. Start off by giving a measurement. It's 34 inches. So basically what we got there is the two structural pieces of the garage. They're 34 inches apart. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to use something like I'm thinking I'll go with like a 1x4 or a 2x4 material. I'm still trying to decide, and just use one for the lower bracket and then one for the upper bracket. So basically going to drill some holes in it so that the rods can sit into it, and then start off at the bottom and then go work on the top. So in this particular application, I'm not really worried about how straight the wood is. As you can kind of see here, there's a little bit of a bow in it, but I think that as I cut it down to the size of 34 inches, which should end about right here. Looking at it, there's a bow right there, so I think that after I cut it down, it may actually take out a bit of that flex in it, or that bow. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it at 34 inches. Use a square, get it all straightened out. It's a little unfortunate that there is actually no electricity running to this garage, and basically everything that is powered in here is powered by an extension cord that we actually had to run from the outside of the house. So in here we actually run everything on an extension cord, and it poses its own problems, and it's not what I would like, but it's just not something that we plan on changing anytime soon, so we just gotta deal with what we got. Okay, so now that fits in there with about 1/16 of an inch of play, but that'll be perfectly fine to give what I want. Okay, so what we got going on now is, here you can kind of see we have just kind of rough marks of where we want it. We ended up going with about 4 inches in between. And what we're going to end up doing is once it's actually in, we don't want to put it down in the, or up in the center. We kind of want to bring it forward a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and mark each one roughly somewhere in between about 1 inch and 2.5 inches back. What I'll do to save myself a little bit of time though is I'll mark this end one here at 1 inch. I'll go ahead and mark one of these center ones at 1 inch, and then mark this end at 1 inch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a straight edge. I'll go ahead and mark these here, line them up, and mark them. And then scooch it on over and do the same over here. We got it. Okay, so basically this is what I ended up with. I cut the 2 extra holes, just kind of not thinking about it. But as you can see, kind of up close, it's real nice. Okay, so basically I got my little cloth and some boiled linseed oil. As I said, I don't ever use linseed oil. I've never used it before, and I would just like to start using it a little bit more as a sealer and just kind of as a finish. And so I really don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm really curious to know. The piece of wood that I'm using here is a piece of pine, so I don't know. I'm just not quite sure what to expect. So this is just trial and error. This isn't such an important piece of a project, so I figured it'd be a good place to kind of give it a shot. So let's just kind of see how this turns out. Look, that was a lot. Just gonna run it back and forth and just kind of work it in. Okay, so I don't know if you're getting a good view of this with the camera and the light, but basically this is what it came out with. This is what it originally looked like, just kind of nice and white. You had the core there and whatnot, but that's pretty impressive. I like the way that it turned out, and going to use that some more. So I've decided to come back and pick up on a project that I procrastinated to finish, my fishing pole holder, and I started it maybe a week or two ago and just got distracted by other projects, so I'd really like to get that taken care of, and so I'm going to go ahead and finish it up today. That's the plan, and so by the time I'm done I'll be able to store the fishing pole holders a lot more effectively and efficiently. So let's go ahead and get to it. Hey, it fits in like a glove. So the plan for these holes here, they're 5/8 inch holes. I'm doing them a lot smaller just because you're only going to be holding the very tip of the fishing pole. But the plan is instead of going straight in, I plan on coming either up at an angle with my cut, or I'm going to maybe come up from the side and then in. Maybe something like that, just so that I can slide the pole in and then out to the side. I wonder if instead they're going straight back, if I should maybe go back first and then down with it. Maybe something like that, so that it can't necessarily fall back. No, I think what I'll do is I'll go with this one. The reason why is I'm thinking that if I were to go this way, it has the potential to, the pole itself has the potential to kind of slip backwards, so it'll always end up sitting back here. So if I do this one, if it happens to fall back, it's only going to get caught up right there. That's my plan. Go ahead and start these cuts. Oops, forgot to only on one extension cord here.
So up close, this is just a little bit a better look or idea of what it is I got going on. Now it's about time I take it to the sander. I did this one here on the end backwards just because it's gonna sit so close to the edge that I just wouldn't have worked. Okay, I went ahead and I grabbed my largest fishing pole that has like the largest handle on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up right here in one of these center holes. I don't want it necessarily sitting there on the, yeah, it's going to have to sit a little higher than I expected. But it'll give me the opportunity to go ahead and mark off where I want to put it. Level. Go ahead and pick up this fishing rod. Uh-oh. It's swinging all around. See how that fits. Perfect. I don't really think that's going to go much. That is nice. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and grab all the other ones. Yeah, seems to work real good. Definitely keeps them out of the way. Yeah, that works. Nice. I actually finished with this project here. It turned out, a lot better than I was expecting it to. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing when I first started this project, to be honest. I just had a goal in mind, and that goal was to kind of organize the fishing rods and just put them up kind of out of the way and, make them easily accessible but still organized. And so what I have done, I think that really accomplished the goal, and so I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. And I have a feeling that you know, if we ever move to another property or move to a different home, that, you know, this is definitely something that I'll be doing again. And so I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out, and you know, I learned a bit from this experience. And anyhow, I'm pretty impressed, to say the least, and I think that it really has accomplished what it is that I was trying to do. And so hope you guys really enjoyed the video.